you could stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The public, as part of the South Putnam Community School Corporation's budgetary processes, we will now hold a public hearing for the 2022 budget. If you are interested in speaking at this hearing, please make sure you have signed the sign-in sheet at the back of the room, which should include your name and address. The notice of this budget hearing was published as legally required on September 3rd, 2021 to the Bannergraph. Close the budget hearing. Open. Sorry.
Motion made.
Craig.
Second.
Craig made a motion to open the budget hearing for public comment. Wes seconded. All those in favor? No one signed the sheet. Thank you all who participated in the hearing. We appreciate your time and interest in the school corporation's budgetary process. The board will continue to work with the administration and its professionals to look for efficiencies to conserve tax dollars while meeting our students' educational needs. Do I have a motion to close the budget hearing?
So moved.
Les made a motion to close the budget hearing. Lisa seconded. All those in favor? Are there any changes or revisions to the regular or consent agendas?
I have a request, requesting to remove the individual item 5D3 from the consent agenda and put it as the first item in section A1, or as first item as A1 in section 8 under new business.
And then I'm going to request to add a newly announced retirement to our consent agenda.
We'll entertain a motion and a second to approve the revised regular and consent agenda. To approve the revised regular and consent agenda. Lisa made a motion to approve. Greg seconded. All those in favor? We would like to take this time to briefly recognize some guests at this time. Mr. Gowan, I believe you have someone you'd like to recognize.
Did Bill show up? No. No? Okay. Yep. Then we can do students of the month.
Okay, we have a 5th grade student of the month this month in September, Josie Hurt, and Mrs. Evans is here. She's the one who nominated her, and the 5th grade team seconded that. And anyway, her write-up is very good. She's a wonderful young lady. They wrote in here that she's a very hard worker. She always completes her work on time and is very consistent. Josie has perfect attendance. She participates well in class discussions and puts forth 100% effort on everything she does. She is always smiling and is very helpful, respectful, and thoughtful to all her peers and staff. Josie exemplifies daily what a good student should be in her deeds and actions. Josie is helpful to other students in the classroom and is helpful to adults as well. You can count on Josie to always do the right thing when the teacher is not even in the room. Josie is dependable, respectful, fun, and a happy young lady who makes the classroom much brighter and a better place. And Mrs. Evans writes that she was looking forward to getting to know Josie more throughout this year and see what all she will accomplish. She's not with us tonight, but hopefully she's watching it. So.
We also have a fifth grader this evening, Mr. Landon Hayes. Landon, you want to come on up? Mr. Smith and members of the school board, it is my honor to introduce you to Landon Hayes as Fillmore Elementary Student of the Month. Landon is a fifth grader in Mrs. McCamick's class. He is the son of Casey Summerlot. His extracurricular interests include being around horses, playing with friends, spending time with his dog, and family. Landon is a dedicated student who completes all his work. His academic achievements are a result of his positive attitude in the class. He actively participates in class discussions and even goes above and beyond what is asked of him. Landon has had to do about 2.5 weeks of class via Google Classroom meetings. He has joined every meeting and stayed the duration of class time with us. He actively participated in our lessons by reading orally with the class and completing math problems and sharing answers to those problems. Upon returning to class, all his work was completed. Being away from class was emotionally draining for him. It was wonderful to see his infectious smile and upbeat personality. Landon is a fine role model for our other students. Sincerely, Jill McCamick.
All right, our middle school student of the month is Khalil Jefferson. Khalil's not here tonight. He's at his middle school football game at North Clay, but I'll go ahead and read his nomination. It came from his math teacher, Mrs. Custis, and it said, I would like to nominate Khalil Jefferson as the 8th grade student of the month for the middle school. Khalil comes prepared every day for class, eager to learn. Khalil actively participates in class, striving to gain more knowledge. He is not afraid to ask questions or collaborate with peers when he is challenged. He's also very helpful when others seem to be struggling. And that's from Mrs. Custis for Khalil Jefferson, our middle school student of the month. And then our high school student of the month is Hannah Bassler. You come on up. So Hannah is our high school student of the month, and her nomination comes from her biology teacher, Mrs. Hodge. And it says, though I've only known Hannah for just a couple weeks here at the beginning of school, I've been so impressed by her caring attitude and her maturity. We recently had a group of students come from Mr. Sanders' life skills class to join our first period biology class. Hannah welcomed these students into our room and made them feel welcome. She works hard in the classroom. She always brightens my day. I'm proud of her for overcoming the obstacles already placed in her path this school year with the craziness of COVID. So thanks, Mrs. Hodge. So Hannah Bassler is our high school student of the month.
Anna, would you like to?
Hello, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Anna Kendall. I'm the varsity swim coach here at South Putnam. And I'm here to introduce our new assistant coach for the program this year, Mr. Levi Hoffman. Levi comes to us, he was a club swimmer in the Fort Wayne area all through high school, so he's very familiar with the early morning requirements of swim season and what he's getting himself into. And then he came to DePauw and graduated from DePauw, from the DePauw School of Music, and has since begun work on his transition to teaching degree, and so is hopeful to be teaching high schoolers sooner than later. In the meantime, I'm just really excited to have him to be a part of our program. He's thoughtful and deeply caring about kids, and just has this infectious energy, and all of our students, our swimmers, are really going to benefit from having him on deck. So, thank you.
Welcome aboard.
anyone sign up for public comment?
Paul's letter is with us tonight, again, to give us a little financial update. He's been working with us on the budget over the summer, and Paul's to you, bro.
Tonight's a big night, and this is a big month. As you know, I think it's the 17th, which is student count day this month. And so when we come to you next month, we will be looking at 2022, not just 2021, and what it might look like. Right now, when you look at the cash flows that I've given you, the education fund, not a lot has changed, although if you did catch let's skip over to the operations fund. If you look at the claims in the operations fund, it jumped considerably, but that was because of the purchase of buses, so that hit that. Now I'm going to explain what I did here, because up until then, if you go up to October 21st in the operations fund, you're going to see a transfer of $400,000. Last month that was $300,000. And the reason I had not gone 400 was because last year you transferred, I think, 900,000, and I was trying to keep that to 800,000. With those buses, that makes that harder to do. And I'm a big fan of what I started with is what I want to end up with. And if I don't make that adjustment and go back to the 900,000, then the operations fund really takes a big deal. And I don't want that to happen. So if we're back to transfer 900,000, that's well within the guidelines of what the state says we can do. And it's very similar to what you did last year. But right now, the end of the year funds look good. That's what kind of, that stays with us, we hope. But again, this is a big month. 17th is a big day. That determines what's going to happen to revenue, education fund for the ongoing year. So back in October, we'll have some information, and we'll take a look at 2022. Thank you. If you have any questions?
Business. A1, consideration of approval of personnel items.
So this was pulled out of the consent agenda, so I am going to just read quickly through those recommendations for hire. So let me go down to my list here and get on that. So our employment recommendations are at Central Elementary. It's Tina Kirchhoff, I believe, for Title I. Middle school and high school is Alan Landry as custodian, Natalie Hodges, co-sponsor of the high school student council, Michelle Custis, co-sponsor of the high school student council, Tiffany Dixon, high school math academic coach, Kathy Boyce as a 7th grade class sponsor, Elaine Bai, a middle school English academic coach. So Amy Cassida, 9th grade class co-sponsor, Thomas Champion, fine arts academic coach, Leah Henry for FCA, Natalie Hodge for the high school science academic team coach, Aaron Roach as co-director of concessions, in athletics, Levi Hoffman, which we already met, and Antonio Hernandez as head wrestling coach.
Any questions? Do I have a motion to approve? I move to approve the recommendations for hire.
Second.
Made a motion. Recommendations for hire was seconded. All those in favor? Motion carries. of bus route and safety policy.
So this evening, our Director of Transportation, Brad Ogborn, is here to update us on some bus route and safety policies. Brad?
Good evening. Indiana Code 20-27-10-0.5 states that on or before September 1st, 2019, and each September 1st thereafter, each school corporation, charter school, and accredited non-public school that provides transportation for students must review the school's school bus routes and school bus safety policies to improve the safety of students and adults. And so just here tonight to say that prior to September 1st, I did that annual review to make sure that our bus routes and safety policies are in place to keep our students and adults safe. Questions about that?
You updated a lot of those, last year, the year before? You went through a lot of safety things to begin with.
Yes. Yes, I did. There were a couple stops. We had one directly across here that was a walk bridge across the ditch that was an unsafe stop. The buses were needing to pull out, have their ambers on as pulling out, turn left, put out their stop arm, and that's a very busy area as we're leaving. So, and then a couple other stops where we had like in an empty parking lot. One was the old Wendy's location down south, where some students met the bus. It's just areas like that we want to try to avoid because we can't control that flow of traffic. And bus pickup and drop off isn't really set up with that. So, no major changes like that this year. But yeah.
Got the new buses in, everything's working properly.
Yeah, buses are in and on routes. So yeah, things are working well.
Thank you.
First reading of corporation policies.
So we're in the process of updating our policy manual, and we contract with Neola to help us with that. And I've been working with Dr. Jim Halleck from Neola to update 4 major volumes of updates since July when I started. And those volumes equate to 67 different policy updates that we are working on. And some of those are up to 15 and 16 pages long. You've all been presented with those proposed changes, and tonight this is just the first reading, and so we're just letting everyone know that the board is going through the process of first reading of those policies, and we will then talk about and make changes as needed and through that process. Then at our next meeting in October, we'll have our second reading and then a planned vote for acceptance to put those into policy. So tonight, really, there's no action that we need to take. Just that we're just making patrons know and letting it publicly be known that we've had our first reading of those new Neola policies.
Consideration of approval of updated teacher appreciation grant policy.
So in your packets, your board packets, you were provided the updated teacher appreciation grant policy and the Indiana Department of Education guidelines for the teacher appreciation grant. We call it the TAG grant. And according to Indiana Code, which is 20-43-10-3.5, Part C, school districts must adopt an annual policy concerning the distribution of TAG. And then we submit that policy to the IDOE for approval. Then they send us back approval or denial of that policy. So shouldn't have any problem. Our proposed policy is basically following their exact wording, putting in our information in there. And the biggest caveat to all of this is that the TAG grant, the teacher with a highly effective rating is awarded at a rate 25% higher than that of an effective rating. So that's the biggest caveat to that, and they want to make sure that it's been in progress, and it's now just become the code that we have to pass it in. And then enforcing it 25%. Prior, it was if you were effective or highly effective, it was awarded with the same amount, and they didn't have that differentiation. But now that it's a strict at least 25%.
I noticed that specifically called that out in there, and I found that interesting. That I wasn't sure if it was a past policy and if that was a new thing or, what it was. So thanks for clarifying that.
Do I have a motion to approve the teacher appreciation grant policy?
So moved.
Alex made a motion to approve the teacher appreciation grant policy. Seconded. All those in favor? Consideration of classified compensation package.
In your packets also, you provided a classified staffing compensation proposal for the 21-22 school year. And since my time here, I've personally seen that we have a lot of hardworking people. You guys know that. We have people working and going above and beyond day in and day out. And as a school district, we can never really pay people what they're worth. But we pay what we can and do what we can when possible. And so, therefore, tonight I'm going to ask you for the approval for the proposed classified staffing compensation package as presented.
Do I have a motion and a second to approve the classified staffing compensation package?
I approve the classified staff compensation package as it was presented.
Lisa made a motion to approve the classified staffing compensation. Joe seconded. All those in favor? Consideration of approval of agreement.
Yeah, so Aptigee, this is in your package. You have the information on what this is going to do for us. What this is making technology and kind of tying that together to our communication package and really updating our website. So we're taking our website from really a computer-based platform to a mobile-based platform, and allows us also to tie in social media and to make real-time announcements, make any updates we make immediately go to the platform. It's a way to communicate and interact with the community and patrons and students, and just a whole new level. It's going to dramatically increase the communication that we have with students and families as well. And it's something that's needed to be done for a while. And I think this platform, through my research and talking to other districts that use it, they're more than satisfied and love what it does for them and their communication with their students and families. So I'm asking tonight for approval of this agreement with them so that we can get started and getting this out and rolling and to our families and students as soon as possible.
When do you foresee that being phased in? Will be in pieces or all at once? Or?
So if we approve this tonight, we can get started as early as Friday on the development of that timeline, working with Aptigee. What we're hoping for is by the end of the first semester to have a full-out rollout. So it'll be when we'll do a dry run where we'll see it, making sure everything's working and those types of things. We'll turn it on, and then as we go along, we will turn other aspects of it on to expand it as we get that out to teachers and departments and so forth to allow to do some other things that it can do.
But all those expansions come with that cost.
Yep, it's all in there. Yep.
What about the transition period? Is it going to get in the way of anything else? Is this going to totally replace our existing website? Right?
It totally replaces all our communication package right now, the website and the school messenger platform that we, when principals and myself make calls to let you know there's 2-hour delays or there's a problem, anything like that, or school's canceled or we're in e-learning or whatever. That's a part of this as well. So
does it take place of any of the remind systems? Or is that separate?
That is something that that's a whole separate thing, because that's something that, outside of that. So, but this is mobile friendly. It's designed to be, viewed on phones, which is the majority of people are going to interact with it that way.
So some of the money that we're spending on those other things, it's replacing would be a savings for us.
Correct. Yes, and Aptigee worked with us as well because our contract runs through the year as it renewed in June. So that Aptigee worked with us and discounted their services so that it would not impact us even more, so having to double pay. So it took care of what we were already paying. They discounted their services.
I wonder what that discount breakout was for.
That's what it was for.
Are there any other things behind the scenes that we're not aware of currently that are causing problems or costing us money that this will help resolve?
I think the biggest thing for this is it just increases the communication and the usefulness of our website and Thrillshare is that communication piece as well. It allows us to do things faster and more efficiently. Because right now to put things on the website, it's not real efficient. So this will allow it to do that. And then when it's in there, it's more user friendly.
Who are the power users going to be? Because I think it outlined like training for the power users. Who would be the power users?
Those are going to be your administrators for one, the technology department, and then department heads will have some access to it as well, athletics, those types of things. So mainly departments and the administrators.
Is there like one person who's kind of in charge of that? I mean, because in some cases, if everybody thinks they're doing it, then actually
the neat thing about it after talking with them is there's sign off. So let's say someone creates something, they want to put it up on the website or whatever, it goes through channels. So it would have to go through the building administrator to go to the building level website. To go to the district level website, it would have to go through me to be approved. So they can design it and work it and get it all ready to go. Those administrators can preview it prior to publishing.
So there's some checks and balances.
Definitely, yep.
No other questions, I'll make a motion.
Wes made a motion to approve and Greg seconded the Apogee agreement. All those in favor? Collective bargaining.
Yep. As per Indiana Code 20-29-6.1b, school corporations are required to have a public hearing prior to the commencement of collective bargaining every year. Therefore, we're providing that opportunity this evening so that we can begin the process of collective bargaining with the South Putnam Classroom Teachers Association.
If you are interested in speaking at this hearing, please make sure that you have signed in the sheet in the back of the room. It should include your name and address. The notice of this budget hearing was published as legally required on September 3rd, 2021 in the Banner Graphic. Terry, did anyone sign? Do I have a motion to open the collective bargaining hearing for public comment? Greg made a motion to open the collective bargaining hearing for comment. Lisa seconded. All those in favor? All right. Thank you to all those who participated. We appreciate your time and interest in school corporation's collective bargaining process. Do I have a motion to close the collective bargaining hearing?
So moved.
Wes made a motion to close the collective bargaining hearing. Joe seconded. All those in favor? Other business? All right. Superintendent's report.
Yep. I have three main things I'd like to address this evening. One is our numbers continue to track way down related to COVID positive cases in the district and in quarantining. We're going down as well. And so I just want to thank families for the continued patience and understanding as we continue to work through this and navigate this. Every day is a changing day, and we just go with the currents and make sure that we're steadfast in our plan. Our families, students, staff, administrators have been absolutely amazing through all of this. Very supportive, very understanding, and it's been a good start to the year, even through all of this. Our reentry plans really provided a good consistency in our approach as we've gone through this as well. It's been a nice place to go back, an anchor point to be able to make decisions off of. So that was good. Second is this is the start of my third month, and I just wanted to publicly thank you guys, the school board, for all the hard work you've done since I've come on board. I know I've thrown a lot at you guys, a lot of changes, a lot of new policies on digital, all those types of things. So I just want to publicly acknowledge and thank you guys for being good team members and playing along and as we work through these changes. So thank you for that. And then the last thing that I wanted to say was I wanted to commend my administrative team. They've been absolutely amazing throughout this year, juggling everything that we had to juggle with the regular start of the year, and then you throw the extra level of COVID on top of that, and the quarantining and staffing and just making sure things are covered, and they've done an amazing job. So through all their hard work and scrambling and making things work, we've been able to keep school open and keep things running and provide an education for our students. So I just wanted to publicly thank them for all their amazing work that they've done, from transportation to food services to just building levels. Just everyone's done just an amazing job. So just wanted to publicly let you guys know. Appreciate what you're doing.
Do I have a motion to adjourn? Joe made a motion to adjourn. Greg seconded. All those in favor? Our next regular school board meeting will be held October 20th at 7 p.m. in the South Putnam High School.
Okay.